Uh, Coming to the yesterday's presentation, yesterday what we have seen like in the online practice session, how the ways to print a part. The step one is to design, design the in a CAD model. CAD model means SolidWorks or Creo, CATIA, such things. And otherwise, you can download the part from the GrabCAD. Some other guys may design the part and then they upload in the a online library. And the third one is generate. We can generate the object. Uh, we can generate a object data for by using the scanner, and we can scan the human by using the sense scan. And other scanners are like a CT and MRI scanners. These scanners are mainly for the mimic. We can convert the DICOM images to the STL file. See, this is the step one is to from your perception, your idea to STL, like by using the CAD or GrabCAD or Mimics. So in the step two, the STL file will be imported into the Cura. Cura is a free software. It will be available online, and I hope you are installed already. So in the Cura, we will slice them into.
Excuse me,
Yeah. Yeah.
sir. It is not a full slideshow. I think so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it. Okay. Yeah. Now, sir, is it okay?
It is okay.
Thank you. Sorry. Ah, okay. So now in the Cura, what happened? We will import the STL file, we will slice it, and then we will generate the G code. Those G code file will be transferred to the 3D printing machine. There it will be printed by using those G codes. Okay. This is the process from idea from your mind to a real time object. Like you can touch and feel the object. So uh, hmm. Ah, now in this session, the online practice session 2, we are mainly working with the STL files and build setup preparation. But before that, there is a Mimic software is there. There we will convert the DICOM files to CAD, like STL directly. So it is a from DICOM to STL. There, those DICOM STL files will be imported into Cura, or those software will be given to the G codes. And 3D export is, I will explain in detail. These three things will happen in the 3D export. Like from the design, you can design and then convert directly. You can give to the machine. These three things will happen in the 3D expert because it is already compatible with the CAD as well as ANSYS analysis, and then it can generate the G codes and it will give the G codes directly to the machine. Okay. So the first one is Mimics. See, what is Mimics actually? Materializes, it is developed by Materializes people. So they named it by themselves, like Materializes Interactive Medical Image Control System. Mainly it is used in the medical industry. You see, generally the CAD by using the CAD, like Creo, CATIA, and the other thing is like SolidWorks. You may design the water bodies like constructive solid geometries or boundary representation. By using the Rhinoceros, you can go for the B-Rep products. But in the constructive solid geometries, they are a water bodies. So you can generate those CAD files. Then those are some primitives like a cube, a cylinder, or a triangle, such an object. They are not complex. So you can slice them and then you can print them. You can design actually because they are some smooth surfaces. But whether coming to a human body, it is a very complex organs are there and a very complex shapes are there. If you See, the human bone, it will contain like a spongy bone and cortical bone and then bone marrow. You see, so the one human bone contains these many elements. So, designing such a complex object is very difficult. See, even see, this is a skull on your screen. See, this is maxilla, and this is skull, and then this is mandible, and this is maxilla. You can see these are very complex shapes. And if a person got a damage, got a head injury, might be he needs to undergo a surgery of mandible, this red one. So this bone got broken. So in place of it, if we need to replace the a metal implant. See, already we are metal rods are kept inside the these thigh bone and legs. Okay, so in place of this, we can insert one metal implant. But designing and printing a metal implant is very difficult subject from the conventional way. We cannot go for the metal cutting tools and then casting and then powder metallurgy. So the unique identification of 3D printing is we can go and access these printers, okay, these parts. So that is the main object of this mimic. So what okay, we need to print it. How we can print it? You see, might be the CT and MRI scanners. See, those are the generally diagnostic purpose they will the medical people use. So in the CT means computer tomography. It is mainly used for the hard bones like uh, cortical bones and then spongy bones only. We use it. Coming to the MRI, MRI scans may be used for soft skin also, soft tissues also. Okay. So from there we get the DICOM. What is DICOM in generally? Actually, DICOM is a digital imaging and communications in medicine. It is a standard format. So from the DICOM images, you can get the STL. So now we are going to see. And coming to the features of this mimics, we can segment your anatomy effectively. Like you can go deeply and then see the each and every part. You see the arteries of heart, and then you see veins and the arteries. You can see and you can touch them, and you can what are the connection between them. You can see them each and everything. And coming to one more thing is surgery planning. See, the doctors might be they are freshers, they can go on a practice session on the model. Later they can do on like real time application in the uh, theaters, okay, operation theaters they can do. So these are the features. And then coming to the applications, rapid prototyping, anyway we are using it. And the surgical simulation. Coming to the surgical simulation, they are the medical people, doctors, they will analyze and then they will check how the heart or human part is functioning by using these implants and then foreign parts, okay, metals. So now we'll see the mimic software, how it will be imported. See, we are using the Mimics Research 21st version. Once you open this software, it will be loaded with a new project. Okay. And see, these are the DICOM files. If anyone have gone to the diagnostic center, like how the CT or MRI scans are happening, you will be lied on a platform, and then the X-rays will be scanned over you. So each and every scan, they will generate one leaf like X-ray. Might be X-rays, a 2D image. So these are those 2D images. Okay. See, it is compiled with so much of data, so many, so much. Okay. Now you can see. See, it is actually it is a grayscale image, like black and white only. Whenever the X-rays are uh, triggered, those X-rays will be traveled and then they will scan your human like human part. Then based on the densification, the data will be scattered and then the scattered rays will be observed by the receivers. Those receivers will generate this data. The white image portion is high density and the black is low density. The medium one is soft tissue. Like now you can see this many number of files, and now I am importing those DICOM files into the software loading. Now we see. Coming to the software here, these are different tools like view, image, segment, and advanced segment. These are the different tools. Mainly, we are going for the segment tool. On the screen, you see these three windows. These are reference planes. Generally, in the engineering drawing, we know like top view, side view, and front view. But in the medical terms, they are named it within different names. Like might be they are using their own names. Those are the you see the major reference planes like axial plane and then coronal plane. Okay, and this is sagittal plane. You see the axial plane is perpendicular to the axis, and then coronal plane is just it will be the black one. You see, this is a coronal plane, and this is sagittal. It will make you off of the left and right portion. It will be in the middle. The sagittal one is the middle one. See? These are the three different planes. See, this is sagittal plane. Now you can imagine. See, this is sagittal plane, and this is front and back. So it is a coronal plane, and this is axial plane. You see, just see. Now coming to the tools, you see, these are the various different tools are available. Okay, various tools, and this is segmentation, mask threshold. Now, generally we use the segmentation tool only. Here, the new mask is we will click on one part body like element. These are all pixels actually. Pixels means a two-dimensional image, but we are using a voxels. The voxels means with the 3D. 2D plus one dimension is extra. That is 3D. Those are voxels. See, these voxels are selected. Once it selected, they will be connected. Wherever they connected, it will be highlighted. This green region is the entire voxel. Okay. Now we are using a threshold region. Generally, whenever the X-rays are there, uh, triggered, they travel to a human bone. Here we are checking the bone. Okay, the bone will be measured within the density of Hounsfield units, like AC, like a measurement for length. We are using MMs, but here Hounsfield units are used. See, the minimum amount is 226 and the maximum is 3000. So there is a range for the bone. Like this much of threshold only it will be selected, and this is connected as bone. Okay, and one more thing. Little bit back. What is the hardest part in our body? The bone. Generally, everyone will say, but it is not a bone. It is enamel. Actually, enamel will give the hardest unfill unit here, like large unfill units will give. Now we are created one mask, though that is green. Okay. Now click the right button, and then we'll be deal with the. You see, I will show you. Will be highlighted with these many options. Then there is we created one mask, that green mask. So for that green mask, we are giving a threshold value like this from 226 to 3071 will be calculated as a solid body. Now you see. The mask is uh, con- mask converted into a solid body. Now you see the solid body is. If we give the lower threshold value, lower Huntsville values, then we might be seeing the skin and then ears and then eyes, lips, everything we might be seeing. But we have given a range of like 226 to 3000. That range only assigned to the bone. So the bone, wherever the bone is there in the skull, it will be highlighted and then it will be created a solid part. Now, see such a complex geometry we may not design in the CAD. So this is another way to access the 3D printing part. These are different options are available to understand more. Okay. See, learning a software is very difficult, but might be it will be difficult only, but you need to be practiced. Now you see here the mask is calculated with just soft skin. Now you are able to see the human body. Like this person got a bone cancer with the mandible, so he need to replace with the mandible. Like we need to cut the mandible wherever the cancer bone is there, and then we need to replace it with the metal part. Hmm. Now you see, now we have created. Now I will tell you one more tool is region growing. See, the region growing is how it will work. It will once if you select one region, the voxel will be connected to the adjacent voxel. Though, so it will be connected with the remaining voxel. Like it will be entirely selected, entire wherever the connected voxels are there, it will be selected. Now the connection is 6 connectivity or 26 connectivity. If the 26 connectivity will be there, it will be high resolution part. Now we have created a mask and then we calculated the part and yellow. Okay. Now, why we need to use this region growing? If you wish to select one selected part only, like let's say in the previous, it is not connected. This frame is not connected with the human the skull. So we use the region growing tool and then we removed it. So this is a region growing tool. And coming to the crop mask. See, the crop mask tool is it is like highlighted. If you wish to concentrate on one part only, so it will select that part and then it will be, you see here I'm selecting only skull, I mean cranium. In the skull I'm selecting my research area is cranium. If my interest area is cranium, then I am selecting this box, this over the cranium. Then I created a mask. See, it is highlighted. Then I am making this mask to solid one. So my interest area is cranium. Then I need not to go for the, I need not to access this remaining portion. I can access this much only. So it is highlighted here and then I can work on it. Like if the head injury is there, some person got with the here, then I may design the template for it. Okay. So this is about crop mask. And coming to the split mask, see here I'm going for the split mask. In the split mask, see it is the skull is connected with the so many parts, which is cranium, maxilla, mandible, okay, and the spine. So my if my interest area is mandible, then how can I eliminate this remaining part like this thing, the cranium and the spine? So I can select the region of A as a region A as this thing, like spine and then cranium, everything, and region B as mandible. So this person got mandible surgery. So my interest area is region B. So I can use this split mask and then I can eliminate the remaining portion. Like you see. Once it is selected, it will be connected with the entire pile up, like these 2D X-rays. These are all X-rays, you see. Like it is a book. The book is connected with the number of pages, like say 200 pages. It is connected with, it contains the X-rays. Then it is a three-dimensional object. Hmm. Now you see. The green region is generated and then region A, region B. These are the masks. So I'm creating solid part by using those masks. Okay. Now the generation CAD software is very difficult. Okay. So this is region A, and this is region B. See, now my interest area is this much only. I can work on it. I can remove this entire area, and then in place of it, I can place a template, and then I can export to STL. Now you see how to export to STL. See, on the right click on it, region growing, and then there you can see the export STL. Okay, you can save this file to STL. So that is a way to export to STL. Okay, so that STL file will be loaded in Cura software. This is a Cura software. Okay, once you open, if you open the Cura software, it will be loaded like this. Okay. Now the Cura, so it will be the right side. These are the input parameters: layer height, layer width, infill density, material, speed, travel, support. We always use generate support and then travel. Okay, these are the different print settings. If you actually we are using a Ultimaker 2 place. Okay, that machine can be compatible with the Cura. If you are using another machine like you can change it to the printer like Ultimaker 2 plus to Ultimaker 2 or Ultimaker 2 Pro like that. Okay, so these are the different settings, and then prepare. Now I'm opening one STL file. This is a STL file I have. And if you click on it, you will be highlighted with the tools like move, scale, okay, rotate, mirror, such. Like if the part is very less, then you can increase. Okay, uniform scaling. If you click on it, then it will be highlighted. So you can work on it like by changing the printer settings. Like I'm using point uh, 0.08, the minimum dimension, minimum layer height, and the layer width is 0.35, and then I can go for the infill density around 10%. Might be if you are not aware with the infill density, I will tell you. The infill density is percentages. It will be if I mention 100 it will be a full solid. See, this part is entirely full solid. If I mention a 10%, it will be some material will be saved. Like the pattern will be given. See here, line patterns are there. I will tell you in detail. Okay. I'm giving the infill density as 10%, and the material is, see here, the material we are using PLA polymers only for PLA, polylactic acid, acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, like ABS, PLA, palicaprolactin, PEC, and you know nylon, TPU. So there are two various different materials are there. We can use them. Mainly we are using PLA and ABS. Coming to the print speed, it is 60 per second and the travel speed is 150. See, the difference between print speed and travel speed is the nozzle will be, while printing it is called print speed. Wherever the printing is stopped and then it will go to the other corner, other point, ideally, like it may not, it will not print the part. The no, so the travel speed is called travel from one point to another point without printing. So that is 150 and we are enabling the cooling and the supports also. Supports wherever the touch plate is. And some overhang angle is there. Like you see. So the red portion is overhang portion. So wherever the red is there, the supports will be generated there. But you see, if you observe here, see the red portion is till here only. It is not till up to here because the overhang angle is 50. So some overhang we can go like inclination. It can print the part by inclination like steps. Okay, so that is overhang angle and build plate addition and raft brim. So raft means the entire uh, part is made with the some. You see, once I slice it, so it is taking 1 hour 13 minutes and 5 grams of material, and it is now equipped with a 2.85 of nozzle diameter, filament diameter, and the nozzle diameter is zero point 0.4 Here you can see nozzle diameter. You can use the various nozzle diameters also, various materials also. You can, this is ABS, CPU, nylon, PC, PLA, PP, TPU. These many materials we can use by using the altimeter. Of course, those are all polymers only. Okay, and if you wish to see print preview, you can check. You see, this is this is the this is ooze material. Of course, it may this is not a big consideration, but it is a drawback. Okay. So it is equipped with 345 layers. You see. So already might be if you remembering the first session one, sir already told you the dimension of this. Ravi sir told you the dimension of this part will be divided with the minimum dimension to the maximum by how much layer height have given. You see, the layer height I have given the 0.08. If I give 0.1, the number of layers different. Like it will be less only. See, 277 only. Previously it is 345. Like the dimension of this part is Z 27 mm by 0.1 mm. 0.1 mm. See, the layer height is 0.1 mm. 27 is the Z. So 277. This giving approximate. Okay. See, 270. So this is the first layer, second, and you can see each and every layer. Okay. And if possible, you can visualize here how the nozzle is printing. Okay. And you can see the extruder is yellow one, travel blue, travel speed. Okay. The helpers support structures will be this color, and then shell is color with the red one, and then infill is orange. You see, you can see the, okay, different colors for different patterns. Now you can visualize. Okay. Okay. So this is preview about it, and this is raft. Okay. The first layer is raft, and till the second and the third, till the third layer, it is a raft. This one is a raft. Okay. Later, it is printed. Okay. So this is called a staircase effect. It is also a drawback. You see, it is approximated with it. It is like a summation in our limits. In mathematics, we call it as summation, like integrate. Now we can give this. We can save this file, say, the .g code, or you can save in any other file. We are saving in the .g code file. You see, um2. And where is this file? Okay. Yes, this is a .g code file. Now we will open it with the notepad. Now you can see G codes. The pre-text is related to the nozzle, and then you see the G1 and G2 are this is the line, and X and Y the coordinates, and E is the roller one, and where you can see the extruder also, roller moment E value. So this is about Cura. Okay. So what are the process parameters we are using here is layer height, okay, infill density. I will tell you. Layer height, infill density, okay, and nozzle parameters like temperature, print speed. See, these are the parameters. By varying this, the part size and material consumption or the time taken to build the part may vary. Okay, so and PLA altimeter system. Okay, so this is about Cura, and we are coming to the exercise. Just pay attention, please, participants. Coming to the exercises, exercise 1 and 2 we are giving. So you need to load this part, and what is the appropriate orientation. You see, I have used this orientation, so I got 1 hour. In place of it, I change the orientation like this way with the same parameters. You see, the time has changed. The time taken to build this part, 1 hour 25 minutes. So what is the appropriate orientation you need to find, and then you need to write in the conclusion section. Okay, we will tell you in detail about that exercise. Okay, this is about Cura. Okay, and coming to the metal, see, the part orientation in the FDM printers, it is very easy. Like we are using the infill density. So if we go for it wrong orientation, might be you can lose with a little amount of time and a little amount of material and with a little cost. But whereas in the metal, it is not that way. We need to be careful, and then we need to uh, take a design in the proper way. Orientation is a very important sign over there. Okay, so till now what we have seen, Cura. Okay, the ways to get it the STL, from the CAD to STL, from STL to G code, G code to printing. Okay, so the mimics is another way of scanning, like generating a STL file. It is not possible with the conventional way, so it has its own features. And Cura is the software which integrates with the CAD package to the metal machine, printing machine. So the CAD package, like from STL to G codes, it will convert the STL to G codes, the Cura. And coming to the 3D expert, see, we have designed the part in the CAD package like in Creo. Those STL will be generated into G code. Those G codes will be given to the machine. But here, the 3D expert, it is equipped with the already CAD package. If it is not, if you are not accessing it, you generate it in the Creo, okay, and then convert it into STL. And those STL file will be converted into Fab3. Those Fab3 file is given to the metal printer. So it's mainly equipped with the STL to Fab3. That means STL is a triangular data. Those triangles will be sliced and then generate a code. Those codes will be in the Fab3 file. Those Fab3 file will be given to the metal machine. Okay. And coming to the tools, it is contains a orientation tool, 3D printing analysis tool, and support manager, infill pattern, and slices and slice view. Here it is already built with the analysis tool. So by uh, changing the orientation, you can analyze it, and then if in the analysis section you may get the wrong result, then you can change the orientation. So it is very easily, like it is friendly software, of course. Now we will see the 3D expert software. Now it is, and one more thing is 3D expert is not a free software. It is, it came with the metal machine, and it is not, it is a licensed version. Okay. And these are the tools. You see, you can design a part by clicking on it, and you can export and then import. Here I'm using for the 3D printing only. So I clicked over there. I click on new 3D printing part. I equipped with the DMP Flex 100. We are using a DMP Flex 100 machine, and it has a build volume of 100 into 90 by 90. Okay, so you can change the printer settings here. So in edit printer, if you wish to change, if you are using another printer, you can change it here. And build plate also. This is build plate. The blue color one is the build plate. The build plate is DMP Flex 100. Okay, and the material is laser form 17. That is SS 17 4pH only, stainless steel, and the minimum overhang angle is 30 degrees. I have given some inputs here, and then I'm add the 3D printing component. See here, you can see the roller. Uh, just to hold on. Listen, guys. Here, might be you are aware with the powder bed technology. The powder bed technology, what happens? The left side, that means this side, the powder will be lifted, and the roller, it will push the powder to the build plate, and then it will laser will be scanned here. Then the powder will be solidified. This is the powder bed technology principle. Okay, here the gas will be, if we are using stainless steel, we can use the nitrogen gas. But if we are using for oxidation metals like titanium and aluminum, we may go for the argon. Okay, and the roller will be moved like this. Okay, the gas flow. So why I'm stressing these points is the roller, once it is swiped once, and then whenever it is going back, it may damage the build part. So you need to orient the part in such a manner that it shouldn't damage the part. Orientation also plays a crucial role here. Okay, and these are different tools. You see wireframe, faces, solid, mesh, 3D printing. Okay, these are the 3D printing tools. See the infill lattice patterns. Mm. Mm. Okay, edit printer, add component and analysis tools, supports, and then lattice tools like infill patterns, and then printing tools. Okay, and I'm adding one component for your understanding. I have taken the same part. Okay, the STL file here. So I have added to the build plate. Now I need to position the part. Okay, by clicking the position body, you can change the orientation. You see, now you may ask, in the Cura, I just put it in the horizontal. Now in the 3D expert, why I put it in inclined manner? You see, wherever the roller is moving from here to here. Okay, here to here, here to here. So it will build this part first. Later, a little amount of part only will be coming to the axis. Later, a little amount, and later a little amount. So the roller will be accessed with a little amount only. But if I put it in straight, it will be accessed with a large amount. So it may damage the roller. So the machine will be damaged. or the part will be damaged. So both are damaging to us. So it is not necessary for us. Okay. So it is if we put it in inclined manner, so it will be accessed with a lesser area, and then it will be scanned very easily. And the roller, once the roller is coming from left to right, so it will be contained with a powder. So that powder also need to be sufficient to uh, solidify. If it is a large area, see the large area is there, the roller amount is okay, it is coming such amount, little amount only. So it may not access the, it may not solidify the fully cross-sectional area. Okay, so that is why wherever, and one more thing is uh, the stress region. The stress region uh, here in this part is not much effective. Okay, and build volume also. Build volume. See, once we if we run the process, run the machine, it will be costing us very much. Like we are utilizing the gas, okay, and oxygen, this gas, and one more thing is metal powder, okay, laser and current. Everything is very costly. So we need to be optimized with our process parameter. Okay, so this is about part orientation. And see, I have given here delta z. The z direction is 10 mm. Previously you see it is touching to the, see it is 0. I have given 10. So why I have given 10 to the build plate, it is solidified. But after taking it out, we need to cut the part from the build plate. So the metal part is not a PLA or polymer. Like in FDM, we just by clicking, we can remove it with the hands, but not with the metal, right? So we need to cut this part. We need to separate this part from the build plate. So the bands are a that EDM machine, uh, sorry, the wire cutting machine. It will take some amount. So I have given that 10 mm. Okay. So now you can see the color variation. The pink color will show you the staircase effect, and the red will show you the overhang angle. This is danger. And then down facing you can go up, and up facing also 45 degrees. So these two things, it may not damage the part, but this one will damage the part. So we need to consider this. We need to minimize this. Wherever the overhang is there, we need to provide the support. The down facing and up facing, we need not to provide the support. We can leave them. Okay. You see, if I put it in the vertical direction, I need to provide the supports here, and then the supports will be generated from part body only, from the leaf to the part body. So I need to cut these supports from here and here. In the both sections, I need to cut. So I may damage the both surface of the part. Okay. So that is the reason I have given inclined position. So I am utilizing the down facing, the staircase. Anyway, it is laser, so the staircase effect is very less here. Okay. Now a print preview of supports. Okay. Now shrinkage compensation. You see here part one, just one part only. So it is not. And coming to the 3D printing analysis, See, in the 3D printing analysis, I can check the printability check. Printability check. I can check it whether this part is able to print or not. So it is clicking OK. Yeah, it is fine. And coming to the support manager, see, I need to mention uh, this overhang angle and minimum width and offset from vertical. So I need to give these many inputs, and then it will generate the region wherever the supports are convened. See, these are the regions. So these many regions will be given. This yellow one are the closed region. So these are the sections we need to consider. So this is appropriate. It is not in a appropriate manner. So I'm making it appropriate. Okay, because the support structures also it will be in the zigzag, and while removing, they may damage the surface of this part. Okay, so it is not good for us. Okay, I am making into some a line pattern. Okay. So for this closed region, I created a line pattern. Now, in the same way, I need to do it for other regions also. It is a little bit time taking. Okay. So I edited all the regions. Okay. Now I need to add the pattern. This pattern. So you see from here this section will be provided with the internal pattern. This cross pattern. Okay. So I have this hatch pattern square grid. I'm giving the distance to 1. Okay. And then expressing fragmentation. And one more thing, the important point here is while providing the supports, you need to access the powder. See, while the laser will scan like this, and then the black lines will be scanned. But here the powder will be remained. So you need to access this powder. That is unused one. Okay. So we can reuse that powder by putting in the oven. Okay. So wherever the part is there, where supports are providing, we need to remove the powder inside the this supports. So that is why I'm providing this fragmentation. And yeah, I have clicked on wall support. Okay, the wall support is provided with the circles. See, these circles will save the uh, amount of material, and as well as it will help you by dragging the trapped material inside it. Okay, so the software is providing so many patterns here. You can go for the rhombus, the square, and one more thing is tilt. You see, in this part, uh, in this STL file, we are not provided with the overhang. See, if it is vertical, the let's say if this part is provided with the vertical section, like this is the bottom and this is top, and then we are providing the supports here. So in place of here, the supports may go like this, like incline. It may not vertical, like incline also it will be provided, and radial also. Okay. radial thing. Okay. Okay. So you can modify the support structure here. Okay. So I have added the add button and then wall support. These two regions I have given. In the same way to the region 5. Uh, wait, same thing. Wall and support. Other sections are also provided with the support. Okay. See, the supports are provided with the other sections. Yeah, everything. Now we have provided supports everywhere. Okay. Now supports are finished, and then we can go for the calculate slices. In the calculate slices, you can change the parameters like in this scan patterns and then inside hatching parameters. Now here you can change to the inside hatching, hexagonal or rectangular. Okay, shapes, and then laser power. You can change the parameters here. Okay, if you wish to work on increment of staircase, whatever the things you can do, wish to do here, you can change. Okay, and then it is generating the code. Now you can see the slices. How did it? In the slice viewer you can see the 1451 layers have come. And here one more thing, I have not given the infill pattern. Okay, because I may go for the infill density like 10, 3, 10 or 20 or 50, whatever it is. But I need to provide a the trapped powder. Like I need to provide the sections, open sections to access the trapped powder. So that may damage the part. So that is waste of time. Like if another parts, you may open section parts, we can go for the infill pattern by creating the lattice. Okay. So these are the slices. That is why the FDM is different and this metal printing is different, purely different in my view. Okay. So in the there it is right, it may wrong here. So don't apply those principles here. So you can visualize this scan pattern. The layers, Z micrometers. See, the laser also it will not scan uh, only in horizontal. It will scan horizontal and vertical, horizontal and vertical. And then we can see the print estimation and cost also. You see the material, how much material is consuming, then how much time it is taking. Total is 3 hours 58, almost 4 hours it is taking. The material is also 4 centimeter cube. And then cost $40. And then you can save this file, the fab3 file, and you can give this fab3 file to machine. So from STL to fab3 in this section we have seen, right? So this is about 3D expert, okay? And these are the tools you can in my in this 3D expert software. If you are perfect with the orientation, you can decrease the cost. Like in the build volume, you can accommodate so many parts, and then uh, you can save the material. So you can, if you are saving the material, automatically you are saving the cost. Okay, here everything matters the money. So you need to be optimized here. So this is about DMP3. And thank you.